My mind, gotta hustle and grind. Financial literacy always on my mind. I'm stacking knowledge, no time to waste. Gotta invest smart, gotta keep up the pace. I'm reading books, learning all the tricks, studying the market, making calculated picks.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. We're getting back on schedule. Consistency. That's what it's all about. Obviously, we're going to be jumping into the Bitcoin bear market because that's where we are, people. I mean, I'm telling you, we're just sitting out here, and it's feeling sad and not pleasant and just not necessarily fun. But me personally, being long Bitcoin, I like red days. I like red months. I like red cycles. I like the bear cycle. The bear cycle works for me, especially now that I have more income rolling in. Because I used to miss all the dips, and now I'm getting some of the dips. So, it's my turn to get in on these deals. But as we get into the episode, we'll do that after. For those of you who stick around for that part, it's after the crypto portfolio update. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. Micro machine myself down here into the corner, and we're going to get to going. So as of this recording, Bitcoin has bounced off 63,000. We are currently at $66,046.28. With Ethereum following up, still under $2,000 at $1,922.02. Amazing. Sensational. That gives us a Bitcoin dominance of 56.2% with an Ethereum dominance of 9.88% and gas fees on Ethereum currently sitting at 0.075 Gwei, which I'm telling you, transacting on Ethereum as of late has been a dream. The fees are super low. Low enough for everybody to start working their way home. I'm telling you, it's great. So under the trending coins, and this is the trending coin list that I want to see right here. We've got Bitcoin at number 1. Solid. Solana at number 2, a little bit salacious, a little bit more bang for your buck, a lot more risk. And then at number 3, we have Ethereum, a little bit more bang for your buck. Solid list. There's no dog poo coin. There's nothing crazy. You guys are getting back to basics. The deals are so good that everybody's coming back and scooping up things that just make sense. And I'm here for it. Makes me think that around the corner, we're not too far away from some brighter days. Moving on, shout out to CoinGecko for this wealth of information that we always reference every single episode, because this is where I track my crypto holdings so that I know where I'm sitting in the market, because it's very easy to buy, not really easy to remember your cost basis, which puts people at a upside down on trades. They don't know where they're at, especially if you're on multiple exchanges. It's hard to track. Use CoinGecko. It's pretty great. Pretty useful. So this is our top 5 gainers and losers. We're going to start off with the gainers, which I hope everybody gets to be on the top 5 gainer list, and have me read off your position so that you can bask in the glory of your crypto selecting abilities. But if you're going to be on this list, I hope and pray that it's under the circumstance of a 100 or higher % day for you, because I want you to win. I want you to get as many zeros on that. I want you to have like 1,000% day. I want some 4 digits, some 500% days. I want you to win. Even if it's on dog poop coin. I don't care. I want you to be able to win. I want you to be able to roll that profit into something that makes a little bit more sense than dog poop coin. At number 1, we have at rank 293 Espresso with a gain of 73% even. At number 2, we have at rank 528 Punch with a gain of 38%. Shout out to Punch, man. At number 3, we have at rank 212, Power Protocol, with a gain of 37.4% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 410, Inso, with a gain of 36.1%. At number 5, rounding out the top 5 winners list, top 5 gainers, top 5 winners, you know what it is. At rank 213, we have Seeker with a gain of 31.9%. Let's go. Moving on over to the top 5 losers list. Now, this is not necessarily a fun list, but I like to be optimistic. So I'm going to hope that if your coin is on this list, it's one of the 2 following scenarios. Scenario number 1, you are looking for an entry on a project. The fundamentals haven't changed. People are just running for the hills, and this is giving you an opportunity to get that spectacular entry you've always been waiting for. Number 2, you are dollar cost averaging, as we are big fans of over here in Future Financial Strategies in the Wolf Pack. And this is giving you an opportunity to get your hands, as none of the underlying fundamentals have changed. You'll notice a common theme here. And this is giving you an opportunity to get an extra large purchase, get some extra tokens in your coffers, and bring down that cost average. Let's jump right into it. At number 1 on the top 5 losers list, we have at rank 473, Go Plus Security, with a loss of 21.2%. At number 2, we have at rank 305, MYX Finance, with a loss of 20.4%. At number 3, we have at rank 394, RaveDAO, with a loss of 12.6%. At number 4, we have at rank 306, Soso Value, with a loss of 11.4%. And last but not least, rounding out the top 5 losers for the day, we have at rank 226, Mimblewimble coin. Yeah, Mimblewimble coin. With a loss of 9.3% in the last 24 hours. Now we're going to go ahead and jump right on over into the portfolio so we can see what's going on over here. We are up 3.1% on the day, but that is a total collective loss of 32.6%. One of the things I like looking at, and I mean, we can tally that up. There's a number that goes with it. That's a loss of $2,776.36 if I were to cash all of it out right now. I'm not going to do that, though. So all buys at this point are dragging down my cost basis. We are focused. Obviously, we're putting a lot into the amplified Bitcoin exposure. But we are also buying Bitcoin straight up. It's the end of the month, so we're getting ready to do our end of the month moves. And what we're doing is at the end of the month, we do our pull. And so obviously, as I've stated in previous videos, we keep updating this because the price, they just keep giving us deals and deals and deals and deals and deals. And I keep trying to buy them all and trying to get them all and trying to get a hold of all of them. But we're dialing in and we're getting more strategic. So we have updated the way that we're going to do this because I do want to focus on the amplified Bitcoin exposure, but I also need $15,000 more in the reserves so that way I can start leveraging my Bitcoin and start running my flywheel, which is starting to frustrate me. So what we're doing is anytime that I pull out $1,000 or over, because the 10% on pulling margin from my primary income portfolio puts that at 10%, which is over $100 or more. Anytime I pull over $1,000 out of my margin at one given time, I will buy spot Bitcoin and add to the reserves on top of the stipend that I have coming out of my check. Anytime it's below $1,000, I will put that money into my amplified Bitcoin exposure. That's just the way we're breaking it down. But at the end of the month, there's normally a couple of big buys. There's a big draw at the end of the month because I have my mortgage and whatever credit card hits on the first of the month, generally speaking. And then I also have around the 16th of the month, every month, I've got my SoFi loan that I got to pull. So that again, Bitcoin exposure. And if there's any credit cards or any bills that got to be tied to that, then that's when that'll hit. And yeah, so we're getting ready to buy another $100. Unfortunately, we didn't pull the money. The money didn't hit the account today because I pulled it today instead of pulling it on Monday, which I probably should have pulled it on Monday now that I think about it. But I pulled it today. It's what it is. So we'll be getting tomorrow. We'll be buying another $100 to add to the coffers for the reserves, which will be dragging down that cost average. And then payday comes in on Friday. So there'll be the auto pay 10% of my paycheck. I get paid in Bitcoin now, which is pretty nice. And we will be seeing that hit the coffers as well. And then, yeah, I think that's probably about it. That's basically what we got going on here. And then, yeah, so that's where we're sitting. It just kind of is what it is. And then I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down and jump into, let's put me over here. Let's make me a little bit bigger than that. Yeah, there we go. So we'll go like this. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the big Bitcoin bear market is here. Bitcoin is currently sitting in a corrective risk off phase right now. And the reason being is the traditional finance market, the hedge fund managers, the brokerage managers, the fund managers, they do not understand Bitcoin. They're trading it like a stock, which makes it inherently incorrectly valued. They're valuing it wrong because they're trading it like a software company. The issue is software is being disrupted by AI because software does not have scarcity. Software has implied scarcity. Bitcoin is programmatic scarcity. You can't replicate Bitcoin. AI can't make more Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is being traded along with all the software stocks, which means that when the market gets scared and goes risk off, Bitcoin gets lumped in with all the stuff that's being disrupted. And they're like, oh, we got to get out of that. And we got to cycle into this. And we're scared and we don't know what to do. Which is an opportunity for those of us who are either in the market and currently buying as much as we can get our grubby little hands on and positioning ourselves. Obviously, divining the tea leaves, February is also, I think, one of the third worst trading months of the year. I think it's like top 3. So that's one of the places where you focus in on deploying and accumulating because everyone is running out of the market. You want to be going opposite of everyone else, unless, and this is very specific, unless the fundamentals have changed. Now, if something that you're invested in is fundamentally broken, you find out they're scamming money, they're going out of business, the earnings reports are garbage, the business is going under. Yeah, there's a reason everyone's leaving that position. But when it comes to Bitcoin, all the news that we're getting, governments buying, states buying, pension funds buying, BlackRock's buying, all these things are buying. Bitcoin is the Band-Aid cure-all. They're telling you what they're doing. They're moving in. They're buying. MicroStrategy's buying, never selling. MicroStrategy is still buying. Fundamentally, nothing's changed with Bitcoin. Number go down. Smash buy. That's easy. Easy. Quick maths. Nothing has changed with Bitcoin fundamentally. So when the crowd runs away from something that's fundamentally, is it still the most sound asset, most scarce asset? Yes. Is it still the best performing asset since inception? Absolutely. You still getting a 30% CAGR? Yep. 30% or more, depending on when you're buying. Yeah. So for me, that is a no-brainer on what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep buying. I'm going to buy more. And as you can have seen, as it's dropped, more of my income being fully invested is going into Bitcoin, and specifically right now, amplified Bitcoin, because the market's down. I want that umpteen X gain on the upside, and then we'll take those profits and leverage them into more Bitcoin. Notice I'm not going to roll those profits. We're going to leverage it. We're going to borrow against it and pay it back and pay back the loan, because we have an income machine that runs over on that side on the traditional finance side of things. But, they have heavy ETF outflows right now because, again, those managers are doing what they do. They lump it into a category and they trade based on that. And unfortunately, as they're new to Bitcoin, not the rest of us, but they are misallocating what Bitcoin is, because a lot of people, when they finally have access to something, they don't know what it is. They don't know how to use it appropriately. And they're, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, because they're just like, oh, well, this is just software like everything else. Well, it's not. Unfortunately, now when they come back, they're probably not going to get they're not going to get in where they want to once we're back over six figures, and they're not going to probably get in on the way back up. And we'll see what it is, because there will be a supply crunch when these ETFs need to buy back in. That's kind of the issue that they're going to face, is those of us who are buying now aren't going to be selling either. It's no reason for us to. We have too many tools. If you're buying and selling stocks, that's crazy to me, especially if it's something that you believe in, especially when you can leverage it and borrow against it and not pay taxes. That's also nuts. But I digress. But for those of us who are building a wealth on a Bitcoin standard, the key is to always zoom. And this is standard for the market, especially for those of us who've been here a while. You got to just zoom out. Yeah. We're down off of our all-time high of 126,000. You know what happened the last all-time high? We fell down from that too. And might I add, that fall was worse. It was further. I mean, I wonder if I've got any videos where I'm showing my portfolio from back then, but I mean, that portfolio was blood red, over 50% blood red. I'm down 32% right now. And I was buying at 126. You just buy straight through. There's no reason for me to stop buying, because I'm not planning on selling it. And so that's where we're at now. We did bounce off 163 today. I saw that. It was ugly. Now we're back up to 166. Somebody bought. And the other thing that you have to understand now that institutions are in the market is this isn't 100% retail. Also, the other thing that you have to understand is Bitcoin is highly liquid, which means they can dump onto the market, and there's somebody on the other end of that to buy it all. There's someone to buy at those prices. This is not a simple deal where you can just offload stuff and maybe the exchange absorbs it and there's a spread and they'll wait for somebody. No, there is another physical human on the other side of every Bitcoin sale. It is a market. Unless you're on an exchange that wants to have Bitcoin, which honestly, I would make that exchange where it's yeah, just give me the Bitcoin. I'm not selling it back to you. Cool. But somebody's buying, somebody is absorbing that. And so that's also something to think about. The current Bitcoin drawdown is around it's in the high 45% range versus the past cycle. The past cycle, we had above 80% drawdowns on Bitcoin specifically. That's what the drawdown looks like when it's retail run. We're in the high 45s, and people are losing their minds that have never been here before. Now, I've complained about what our top was because, like I said, if 126 is the top, that's a garbage run. Guess what? We had a garbage bull run. We also had a garbage drawdown. So, like, we're at 50% of the worst drawdowns of the last cycle right now. We are about 50. Our peak was 50% less than what I thought that we would have peaked at. So on all in all, as an optimist, I'm like, if this is the road that we're taking up, I can deal with this road. I like this road. We're not going up as high. We're not going down as low, but still enough to get people's mouths wet. You know, people got excited when we got over 100,000. People were losing it when we hit 126. People are losing it now that we dropped 40 some odd percent, high 40s. Okay. Not 80. 80% drawdowns hurt. They hurt a lot more than what we're experiencing right now. But that's because it's not just retail. When it was just retail, we were going to the moon and then coming back to earth and then going in the ground a little bit. This isn't the first time this has happened. It won't be the last time that this has happened. It just is what it is, and we're going to have to figure out how to navigate this volatility, which isn't as bad as what it previously was. So for somebody who's been around for a while, this isn't that bad at all. I mean, I just go ahead and every time I get an opportunity, I buy more Bitcoin, call it a day. We're happy about it. Moving forward, couple of things in closing that we want to watch for those of us who are on the Bitcoin standard. Now, I understand that I'm not as much on the Bitcoin standard as some of you. Some of you are just all Bitcoin, nothing else. Me personally, I don't want to have to go to work, so I have to use all tools available, and I do not make a high enough income to just be on a pure Bitcoin standard. I am doing a video next week for next week's Bag Talk that's going to be the blue collar Bitcoin playbook where oh, bless me. Sorry. Where I give my perspective for my blue collar workers that make more than me. I was asked, we take requests around here. So when somebody asked me to break something down, had a conversation today, and I was asked about going pure Bitcoin, where you just want everything you're doing, your traditional finance portfolio, your Bitcoin holdings, all the tools involved to just run a pure Bitcoin play. So you generate your income off Bitcoin, you hold Bitcoin, it's all about Bitcoin. And it's coming from the perspective because like a lot of the blue collar workers that, I make decent money. I make all right money. But like some of y'all make good, decent, high earning, specifically shout out to my truckers. Y'all are getting a consistent paycheck. You have income coming in. You have the ability you're a high earner. You're a high income earner. You're in the blue collar high income earner realm. And I'm going to do a video specifically for you guys breaking down how you could run this playbook, probably with a little bit less volatility than what I'm dealing with, because I have to run mine in a very degenerate space. And piecing together a portfolio that everything touches Bitcoin. And that's going to be the rule set for the portfolio. So I'm going to give you guys a full breakdown. It's going to be next week's episode on Bag Talk, which will be on Thursday. Not this Thursday, next Thursday. This Thursday, the episode's already done and I'm uploading it with this one. But yeah, so those are there's some stuff that you got to look at, and like the way that Bitcoin standard breaks down is different for everyone. Personally, I think with all the tools available surrounding Bitcoin, that, you know, using some of the other tools, I'm not opposed to it. I don't like selling Bitcoin. I'd like to have a bunch of buffer space between me and selling actual Bitcoin personally. And we'll break that down on the episode. We'll give that ideology as well. But the macro regime, things that we got to look at, interest rates and recession odds, which technically from a people perspective, with all the jobs that are being lost quietly, we're in a recession. Problem is, people who own stuff are getting wealthier. So it's kind of like again, the K-shaped economy. It's great for some people, horrible for others. If you are in the targeting reticle of an AI bot, if an agent can replace you, well, not the greatest for you right now. Like, it's kind of garbage because your life's getting worse. The tariff and geopolitical headlines, war, never good, always hurts the stock market. And since Bitcoin is in the market, again, easy liquidity. When people get scared, they sell the Bitcoin. Unfortunately, it's because the hedge fund managers and these fund managers do not understand or know what Bitcoin is. So they're giving up position to Sailor, myself, MicroStrategy, MicroStrategy, 21 Capital, your Strive, Metaplanet, because when they buy, they're not selling back to you. So, it's one of those things. Derivatives and leverage is another thing. Obviously, people are fishing to take out longs and shorts at this point. It happens every cycle. Every cycle, people just think they know it's going to go down forever. I think it's going to zero. I'm going to talk trash. I'm going to put in 50x leverage on this. Ugh. Next thing you know, you're losing your shirt, your pants, your house, and your kids. But they're going to keep doing it. And that's what's going to give us our volatility. And like I said, volatility is vitality. Shout out to Micro Sailor. That's where we get our income from. That's where we get the ability for some of these products we're going to be showcasing on next Thursday's episode of Bag Talk. That's how they make money. That's how they make you income. Because we can get paid for this now. So keep an eye on the liquidation data. It's horrendous. It's horrendous how many people are losing money trying to trade, trying to be fancy. These are things that we should all be looking at, especially your own balance sheet. Like, how is your cash flowing? How are you saving? Are you taking advantage of the dips? Or are you only buying at the top and then wondering why it always looks like you're losing money sooner rather than later? Because we're in the high, our downturn is in the high 40s. I dollar cost average. I'm in the 30s. So, the person who bought at 126 thinking it's going to go up forever, well, they're not having the same experience that I'm having. Also, the person who's bought at 60 when we touch 60, like if that was your entry point, you're sitting pretty good right now. The only person who's in profit in this conversation right now, as far as what we've been buying this year. But it's something to keep in mind, and that's the reason I say you should probably be tracking your buys on some sort of software. If it's not CoinGecko, something else, but so that you know where you're sitting in your position, because people always talk, oh, I bought at 60. How much? Is that all the Bitcoin you have? What is it in correlation to whatever window of time you're tracking? They just show the one buy. I got the bottom. I bought at 60. All the rest of the Bitcoin they bought was at 126. So they're down like 45%. Because people don't give receipts. They don't show you what it really looks like. And I mean, even the window of what I'm showing you, I'm not down 30% on all my Bitcoin. I have over a whole Bitcoin. So having over a whole Bitcoin, my cost basis is actually in the 30s. So I'm sitting real good right now. For the whole of the holdings, this portfolio has been what I've been tracking since I've been doing this episode. Or not this episode, but this show. And it's not good, but it needs to be understood that back when I was buying Bitcoin way back when in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016. That Bitcoin, I went through this and worse because I had to keep buying through 80% drawdowns and I was looking goofy all the time. Fast forward to now, genius. Oh, you're lucky. Oh, how did you do that? Like, I just kept buying and didn't ask questions and didn't look at it every day. That simple. Didn't make decisions every single day. I don't trade every day. I didn't trade. I wasn't looking to trade. I was like, I'm going to buy this and then not mess with it for a long time, like till I retire. We're not there yet. So these are things that you want to look at, and like, it's just so important because people will try to tell you what to do with your money who aren't doing anything with their money. And everybody's got an opinion until it's blatantly obvious that they're wrong, and then you're too prideful to get in at 63. You're too prideful to get in at 60. You're too prideful to get in at 66. But when we go back up to 126, you'll tell everybody they're lucky and it's going to zero. When we get to 200, you're going to keep saying the same, oh, I could have done that. Then it becomes, I could have done that. Oh, I had a shot at doing that. Like, what did you do? Like, oh, I went to Chipotle. I bought a Hellcat. I had $1,000 car payment. I'm just going to be broke forever. Well, have fun staying poor. Just have fun. That's great. That's great. I mean, I don't know what to tell people at this point. Like, you can't help the people who don't want to be helped. You can't help people that are willfully ignorant to bettering their situations, especially when the solution's sitting right in front of your face. Like, you want to go do all this fancy stuff and lose money. You could have just bought Bitcoin and waited. You wanted to go get a financial advisor and get 3% a year on your nothing dollars. That sounds way better than 30% compounded. Enjoy your 3%. Have fun being poor forever and paying for the privilege, because you're paying for somebody to tell you that you're smart. When you could have just bought Bitcoin and saved those fees for poor performance. Yeah. I mean, winners are going to win. Losers are going to lose. Like, it's just, at this point, that's just what it is. We have all the information. You have AI. You could go get on Perplexity, click it over to finance and start asking questions. Fix your situation, but you don't. You want to go ask Tim, Joe, Bob, the guru on Facebook, get your opinion from him and be broke. Like, that's, and pay him for it. These people don't know as much as you think they do. You should actually start doing your own research. You should actually leverage AI. We have something that has all the information and does math real well. So, yeah. Do what thou wilt. I'm going to keep buying Bitcoin, and I'm going to keep tracking my journey. And you guys can look at me being down 30% now. And then when it's up hundreds of percent and I'm taking loans and cranking the flywheel and bringing in all sorts of income, and you're like, oh, well, he's lucky. It's like, no, I wasn't. I was just doing this while you were sitting there with your head in the sand, thinking you knew something to try to sound intellectually smart in an internet conversation when your net worth's not going up. But it's cool. You know, not everybody got to have motion. Not everybody's going to have motion. It is what it is. That's what we're going to call it. This has been the episode. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for those of you who stuck around through this part this far in the episode. I truly appreciate you. Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself out here in the ether. Last but not least, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're on mobile, hype the video. We will be back at it again next week. This is your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero. The channel is Future Financial Strategies, and I am out.
Money on my mind, yeah. Focus, got no time for games, nah. I don't play, man, I'm all about that financial literacy. Investing in my future, building generational wealth. Dollar bills, they be calling my name, but I ain't chasing fame, I'm chasing change. Learn the game, now I'm playing it smart. Putting my money to work, it's an art. I'm stacking paper, building my own empire. No more living check to check, I'm getting higher. Investing in stocks, real estate, and more. Gotta secure the bag, that's what I came for.